Yeah, we can start admitting the first person.
All right.
But let us
All
know
right.
who you admitted before you admit the person.
All right. So the first on our list, I am not admitting the person yet. I want to go by the list we have.
Yes, and I'm saying let us know who the person is. I mean the name and then the office the person is coming for before you admit the person.
All right.
Hello, Chief, we are waiting on.
Okay. So the first person on our list is Muhammad Al Hassan Gafaru, who is vying for the Ministry of Health, Sanitation, and Innovation.
Okay, I think we can go ahead and admit it.
All right.
Is the honorable member ready?
No, he's not in yet.
Then can we move on to the next available person?
All right. The honorable member is here.
Okay. Definitely, guys, I can't leave it.
All right. Honorable nominee, welcome. Welcome to this panel. Kindly tell us about yourself, then you can.
Thank you very much. My name is Mohammed Al Hassan Gafaro. I am a professional nurse. I work full time at Yendi Municipal Hospital, and I also work part time with Triple S Foundation as the health coordinator. Currently, I am undergoing a 1 year leadership program with Ghana Youth Leadership Academy Gaila 2025. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you. I have two questions for you. So just pay attention and then answer
Okay.
them the way I'm presenting them to you. So my first question would be if you could share an example of a time where you've been able to use your profession to deliver on any initiative at all. That would be the first one. Then the second question for me would be how do you intend to approach this ministry if you are given the nod to be the minister?
much for the question. Well, this question directly, organization, and I am the health coordinator. I have from organizing annual blood donation drives, organizing
Oh,
health
the network
screening
is
and
very
donation
bad.
topics or
Your network is very poor. We couldn't hear you.
hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Honorable, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, please.
We couldn't hear your response. Can you repeat it?
Oh, sorry about that. I was saying professionally, I am a registered general nurse and I have undertaken a lot of health projects. But to answer your question, I will speak in relation to the NGO that I work with. I am the health coordinator and I have led all health related programs about the foundation. In just 2022 up to now that I was given the coordinator position, I have spearheaded a lot of health screening exercises and annual blood donations. We have visited a lot of communities and I led everything about the screening. Just to add that in 2024, through the hard work of myself and my able team, our foundation was able to win Best Health NGO of the Year during Ghana Medical and Health Awards. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable, I asked two. You've answered one part. You haven't answered the second part that has to do with your ministry.
Okay. Please pardon me if you could repeat the question, please.
Forward, if you are given the nod as a minister, what are you bringing on board?
Oh, yes, I have a lot of projects I'm planning to implement when I am given the nod. First of all, I think the youth in our country are not exposed to health of hard drugs and substance abuse. You know, we youth, we are not privileged to some of the disasters of those substances that we are taking on. So if I'm given
Gentlemen, can you hear him? I still can't hear anything.
Yeah, his line is off.
All right, Chief. Then I think on to the next person. On to the next person.
I can see he's still in the meeting, but it looks like he has a very poor network.
Okay.
I think we should admit the next person and tell him to make sure he
Sorry for that. My network keeps on breaking and breaking. But I hope you were able to hear my answer.
We didn't hear anything, no. You have a very bad network.
Oh. It's okay. Hello.
We can hear you.
Yeah, please.
I think we should admit the next person a better place to a better place which his network would be stable, and then later we can take him again.
I think I can hear you. I don't know of your side.
Yeah, we can now hear you.
Okay, thank you very much.
So can you respond to the second question again? Well, we didn't hear your response.
Oh, sorry about that. My response was that if I'm given the nod, I'll first of positions, specifically the health and education minister, then gender and youth minister. I think with that collaboration, we will be able to do school outreach programs and do health talks that will include all marginalized groups of people. I think with that as a start, it will be able to bring our initiatives on board. And one thing to also like to implement if I'm given the nod and if I have the necessary resources, it's about delivering health to the rural areas. During my outreach programs with my NGO, we have visited a lot of pure villages that lack almost all health amenities. So if I'm given the nod, I'll collaborate with other ministry and stakeholders if there will be a need to roll out a health app, an app that youth with professionals who are aware of anything confronting the youth, we can channel it in the position that will be able to respond to it. I think it will help the youth in achieving our universal health coverage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. You indicated that you are a registered nurse and you already work in the health sector. If there is any challenge that policy-wise, any challenge policy-wise that you see, which is bedeviling the sector, and how do you innovatively think we can solve it as a country?
Well, I think I have faced a lot of challenges. I've seen a lot of challenges, especially health facilities in the rural areas. I realize that in Ghana today, we still have problem with decentralization. There are a lot of district hospitals or polyclinics that lack medical doctors. In my region, northern region, for example, you could get a whole district hospital with only one medical doctor and a PA. So I think if I have the nod or if I have the power, I think decentralizing, posting doctors and physician assistants to at least all health centers or all polyclinics in the country will help us deliver policy and quality healthcare to our people.
Okay, thank you very much for that
So
answer.
I think that
Are you done answering,
that is the
Honorable?
challenge I would have loved to address if I had the voice.
All right, my last question to you will be when you look at health, a lot of challenges, as you already said, in your response to the earlier question, you said if you have a needed resources, there is a lot of activities you want to address. Now, uh, Youth Empowerment Consortium will not be giving you, let's say, financial resources to address these challenges you have
Okay.
identified. How are you able to utilize the resources as a youth leader in your community? What are the strategies you are going to place? Do you mobilize the resources in terms of human capital, in terms of these challenges that you have intimated to this committee?
Well, this is a very nice question. I think Youth Empowerment Consortium, even if it does not give me the capital to implement the projects I have in mind, but it will have given me the exposure to meet people who are capable of doing that. I just received my letterhead from Youth Empowerment Consortium, and I've already found a lot of NGOs who are working in the health sector. Yes, that are facing the youth. I think a typical example is PP. This is an NGO that are dealing with adolescents, they are dealing with young adults. So I have the conviction that if I'm here has given me, I think I'll just write officially to PPAG Northern Branch. And with that, I can partner with them and we can implement a few of health projects that will benefit the youth of North and Ghana at large. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Please, anyone has a question for him?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. President. Honorable nominee,
Yes,
you're
sir.
welcome once again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, I want to ask you, you ran for the office of the Minister of Health.
Yes,
And
please.
you are very much, I want to believe that you are very much aware of the canker we are having, especially with red in recent times, which most of us have to hear of it via the social media. I want to get from you, what one policy do you have that you believe can help mitigate this issue through the use of social media? What one thing do you think, when given the opportunity, you can implement using social media as a tool to mitigate this situation we have? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think in our world today, social media is the most powerful medium that we can use to drive change. It is also a medium that can use to get things west. So to me, on my personal page, I have been talking a lot about hard substances that the youth of Ghana are into, including tramadol, 120, the one we normally call red. So I believe that with social media campaigns, stop importation kind of disease, cause lung disease, it can damage your brain. I think if we had cars or images, illustrations on social media, I think most of our youth are on social campaign from a lot of sizes. They will also know that this is a bad thing. And I think with that, most of them will be able to stop it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That will be all for now.
one. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister, you have a question for the honorable nominee.
Okay, sorry, Mr. President. I had issues with the unmuting. Okay, honorable nominee, good evening. Hello, honorable nominee. Please, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So, honorable nominee, can you hear me? Your Excellency, I think the nominee is off.
I see him in the meeting. I'm sure his network is not messing up.
Ah, okay. And I have to pause for now.
Okay. If I think we can take in the next nominee.
All right, thank you. Then let me remove him and admit the next person.
Chief, I think we are taking too long with this guy. He's already left. Let's bring in the next person, then we can carry on from there.
Yes, the next person is joining. I'm admitting him right away. All right, welcome, Honorable Francis. Kindly unmute your microphone and video. Honorable Francis, kindly unmute your microphone and video. Honorable Francis, kindly unmute your microphone and video so that we can start with your veto.
If I don't think he's ready. Probably he has been waiting and left probably his phone or whatever he's using to join somewhere. So if you can admit the next person, doesn't look like he's ready.
Mr. President, I want to crave your indulgence to engage him on that because he has been in the waiting room for some time now, so that we'll find out from him and then we'll proceed.
Okay, sure. If I think we should take the next person.
Yeah, he just got back to me that he's having network issues, though I've added him but he said he's having network issues and that he's not able to join. I don't know. So
Okay,
I
so
think we have to.
let's take the next person.
All right.
Team, please, is the next person ready?
Not yet. I think I don't know whether she's the one that joined, but the person didn't use the name, so it's quite difficult for me.
Then let's move on to the next person on the list who is available.
All right, Honorable Betty, good evening, and you're welcome to this session. Kindly unmute your microphone and video so that we can see you and proceed.
Is our nominee in?
Yes, she's in, but she's also not talking. I don't know why.
Is she also coming for the health ministry?
Yes.
This is also not responding. Then we can move on to the next available person.
Honorable Betty, you're welcome. So kindly unmute your microphone and video so we can proceed.
Yeah, okay. I've just done that. Good evening.
His Excellency Kaiser, kindly take over.
Please, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Honorable Betty, good evening. We can hear you. All right. Welcome once again. Kindly tell us about yourself, please.
My name is Betty Etonamigo. I'm a public health nurse, a youth advocate, adolescent health advocate, and a community health advocate. Thank you.
All right. Let's start off with your experience. Could you describe a time you worked on a health-related initiative that addressed a critical issue for a community, but then it's also youth-based? Could you give us anything you've done of that sort?
Yes, thank you. my experiences, I've been on the field in Ghana Health Service as a community health personnel for over 10 years now. And in 2013, 2014, thereabouts, in the Volta region at Bato, we embarked on cervical cancer screening in my community. I was a team leader. So getting the people, especially the youth, to do this exercise or screening was a bit difficult because it was like you getting a sample for us to send to the lab. And so we have to put them together, like organize them, and then I have to speak Ewe. Yeah, so I have to, because most of my members were most of them do not understand Ewe. So I have to speak to them in the local dialect to explain things to them why we have to do this screening. So with that, I was able to screen more than 100 youths, if my memory could serve me right, more than 100 youth in my community at that time. And after everything, my team was the best. Yeah. So that's one of my experiences in the field. Thank you.
Okay, this one is the final one for me. Please pay attention. I want you to answer it the order I'm presenting it to you. What would be your strategy for engaging the youth in health policy? Usually we are there, then you hear they are distributing mosquito nets, then you just follow and then you go. But then what would be your plan, especially around things like mental health, sexual health, access to health care? What will be your long-term plan for the ministry on that?
Can you come again? The question is like in two folds.
Okay, I'm saying, what will be your strategy for engaging the youth in health policy around areas like mental health, sexual reproductive health, access to healthcare delivery? What would be your strategy for the ministry?
So as a public health nurse and a health educator, for my action plan for the year is to go to the various schools, second cycle schools, basic schools, and then give health educational topics on some of the mental health issues like depression, anxiety, addiction to harmful substances like the red. And then sexual health, that is educating them on family planning services, the disadvantages of having more than sexual partners. So that's my long plan. Going to the schools and also the churches. Some of the churches, we have started those initiatives like forming adolescent clubs in some of the churches in my municipality. Thank you. I hope I've answered it.
All right, thank you. Well, I'll take that.
Am I waiting for the next question?
All right, thank you. Honorable Betty. Good evening and welcome once again.
Good evening, Honorable.
All right, so you're vying for the office of the Minister of Health.
Yes, please.
All right. Would you mind giving me one thing, one policy, okay? One policy that you intend implementing should you be given the opportunity. One policy you intend implementing that you think will change the face of the health practices in our country, Ghana. Just one that you intend to implement. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I have already started my foundation, She Cares Foundation. That is, we are into adolescent health, youth, and women empowerment. So in my national plan, I would like to implement sexual education among the youth, the adolescents in my community, because the teenage pregnancy is on the rise in my municipality. And also distributing of free sanitary pads to the various schools in my municipality. On the 28th of this month, I'm organizing our first project on menstrual hygiene. We have a selected school, then we go out and distribute sanitary pads, and then also implement sanitary pad bank. That is, we have a representative in the school who will have access to the pads, and then any girl who is in her menses and has forgotten a pad at home or has stained herself, or who can go to that coordinator and have her pad changed and then be comfortable at school. And also mental health education among the youth, the adolescents in my municipality. So for now, that's my policy I'm trying to implement in my community. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. A follow-up to that. You are aware that YEC is not going to, let's say, give you the financial muscles to implement what you are talking about now. I want to ask you, in this situation that you are representing Ghana on the ticket of YEC as the Minister of Health, should you be given the opportunity, how well do you think you can make use of social media to propagate your policy so that it will reach places that you can't go in current times?
Thank you for the question. As I have already said, I'm a youth advocate and adolescent advocate, and I've always propagated the well-being of the youth on most of my social media handles. And given this platform, it's a huge platform, I must say. Given this platform, I will put in more effort to educate the youth on my social media platform, my WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok. I'll have this set aside to give talk, that's health education talks, on various topics on the various social media platform. My YouTube channel is in the pipeline. I think by the close of next week, it should be ready, and then work will start. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That'll be all for now.
Thank you.
Okay, Honorable, congratulations. Once again, welcome to your vetting.
Thank you.
Yeah, please, I would want to ask, during the time of COVID-19, we all realized that hand hygiene became very prominent in the life of every Ghanaian. But after the COVID-19 pandemic, we do not see people taking hand hygiene serious. At a point, we thought that washing of hands and using sanitizers in public places were going to be something that would be part of the Ghanaian health culture, but we don't see it anymore. Recently, the Honorable Minister launched, he commemorated the World Hand Hygiene Day, but we could see that this thing is not going on as it used to be during the COVID-19 period. How do you think we can reintroduce this as part of our national life to keep our hand always clean and hygienic? Because we all know that our hand picks up germs, bacteria, and stuff from the environment. What is your plan in making sure that this culture is reintroduced into the cultural system of Ghana and it becomes part of us everywhere we go, not only in health facilities? I've visited some health facilities recently, and I can see that the hand washing culture is no more as it used to be during the COVID-19 time. How do you think we can reintroduce this and ensure it is sustained as well?
Thank you, Admiral. Behavioral change is difficult. Okay. And during COVID-19 era, most people, they fear death. So most of them were complying to the process. But afterwards, we are seeing what is happening now. So as a public health nurse, when I go to the various schools for health education, I always let the authorities know that we are, if not for COVID-19, we have other diseases like cholera and the rest. So they should provide we call something Veronica buckets. Yeah. They should provide the Veronica buckets with the soap, with clean water for the kids to always have access to. And then with this, I think as a health educator, I just have to continue educating the populace about hand hygiene with hand sanitizer in your bag. When you get home from anywhere, any activities, you always have to wash your hands. I have to go on the media to talk more to the people. And I think that's only the best thing, because for behavioral change is difficult. As we Ghanaians, adapting to something different, it's a bit challenging to us. So with prompts and then subsequent talking and then educating the masses, I think they will adjust to the norm. Thank you.
All right, thank you. My last question will be, as a health minister, you'll be working with a lot of agencies under the Ministry of Health. Can you give us about 3 agencies per your knowledge you know are directly under the Ministry of Health?
Thank you. Relating to YEC?
No, agencies under the Ministry of Health.
Okay.
So can you give me 3 ministries that 3 agencies that you know under the Ministry of Health? Because as a youth health minister, some of the projects you want to undertake, you may not necessarily have to go to the Ministry of Health, but you would have to target some agencies. You would have to go to those agencies. Well, mostly some of the policies, they own them when it comes to its implementation. So if you can give me 3 agencies that you know are under the Ministry of Health in the discharge of your duty, which you can leverage on and then implement your policies.
Thank you. Ministry of Environment and Sanitation, Ministry of Youth. I don't think it's Ministry of Youth, and then Ministry for. I think that's the only 2 I can remember. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I was talking about agencies like Ghana Health Service.
The agency, sorry. Okay. The
Yes,
agency. Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Local Government.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Please, anyone else with a question? Honorable Francisca. Honorable Francisca. Okay, Honorable Nominee, thank you for attending on to us. You are discharged. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chief.
All right, so I'm
Hello,
letting
Chief.
the next nominee in.
Is the next nominee also for health?
Yes, all of them are for health.
Okay. All right.
All right, Honorable Zaria, good evening and you are welcome. Kindly unmute your microphone and put your video on. Honorable Zaria, you are welcome. I think her network is not permitting, so we'll move to the next person.
What's the light? What's the camera?
Honorable Mary, you are welcome. Kindly put your video on.
Good evening, honorable members.
Good evening.
Please, am I audible?
Yes, please, you are.
Thank you.
Chief, can I proceed?
Yes,
Yes, sir, you
please.
can.
Proceed.
Okay. All right. Honorable Mary, congratulations on making it this far in the process. Could you tell us about yourself?
Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. Please, I'm Mary Abangna, and I have 2 years in environmental health. That's, we call it Sama Sama. Currently pursuing my degree in public health. Thank you.
All right. Honorable Mary, first of all, can you give us a time where you worked on any health initiative, and then it actually helped to solve a problem? If you have that experience, you can share with us.
Okay, thank you very much. I remember when we were back in school, we went for internship, and that's at Sunyani. So we went for our daily activities. We went to the food vendors to screen them, and like some of the members were not, like, they don't know. I'm sorry. So as I was saying, we had screening for the food vendors, and it was a very good idea for doing that, because at the end of the day, we got to know that some of them were having some diseases that they are not supposed to sell in the public. So through that, we were able to educate them and put them on health services to take care of them. Thank you.
Okay. My other question will be, say you are you are currently pursuing public nursing, and then you are given the nod to lead them. What would be your strategy for issues like mental health, reproductive health, and then access to healthcare, general healthcare? What would be your strategy for some of these things? Hello, did you hear me? Colleagues on the call, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, you are very audible, His Excellency.
So then I think it is our nominee who is currently not stable.
I think she left the call.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll join again. So let's give her some seconds.
Chief, I don't think she's coming now. If we could bring the next person and proceed.
All right, thank you. So let me work on that.
Chief, do we have the next person?
He's yet to join.
I think we can move on to the next available person. If we communicate to the next person to join, and they are taking, other than network challenge, and they are taking too long to join, I think we should move on to the next available person. Should we have our next candidate, our next nominee?
Not yet. All right. Honorable Kismatu Mahamadu, good evening and you are welcome.
Thank you.
Kindly unmute your video so we can see you.
All right, Honorable Kismatu, welcome. And then congratulations for making it.
Thank you.
Please, we can see you. Kindly unmute and then tell us about yourself.
Okay, honorable member, good evening once again. My name is Kismot Mahamudu.
I was asking you to unmute your mic.
My mic is on mute. Hi.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. So
Hello,
my name
Honorable.
is Kismot Mahamudu. Yes.
Kindly turn the
Hello?
video back on. I was only alerting you to turn your mic on.
Okay. Network. So please, is it okay? Hello?
Yes, it's okay.
So
Yeah,
my name
Honorable,
is
we can hear you.
Kismot Mahamudu. I'm a student of Cosby College of Fashion, and I'm residing in Medina. I completed WASI last 3 years, 2022, and I will continue my university level next year because I'm still into fashion.
What
Which ministry did you
what
apply for?
ministerial position are you vying for?
Yeah.
Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment.
Okay. Okay. My first question to you would be, have you led any youth development initiative, any youth empowerment initiative at all? And then whether or not it was successful. If you've done something of the sort, kindly let us know.
Okay. Currently, I'm leading a BEC tour, which is going to start tomorrow, and this is my first time starting it, and I hope it's going to help the students within my community to pass their BEC.
Okay, what is this tour about?
It's about teaching students on subjects or courses to choose when they go to the university, letting them know how it feels to pass your exams and getting good grades as well.
Okay. Very well. The other question I would like to ask you is, what is your vision for, say, you are given the ministry on the national level? What is your vision for the ministry, and what strategy would you use to achieve that vision?
Please, can you come again? My network was bad. I didn't hear you well.
Okay, I'm saying, if you are made the substantive minister, what is your vision for the ministry, and then how do you intend achieving that goal?
Okay, from my experience, I've worked with the youth my constituency youth organizer, and one way or the other, we are connecting to the Minister of Youth, that's George Pariado. So getting this position, I'll make sure I'll connect with him and make sure most of the youth within my community get access to those without unemployed, those who are unemployed, they'll get jobs, and those who are willing to learn the Jumara project too. I'll help them go through the process and they'll start the Jumara project. And those who are also willing to go back to school, I'll find a way of lobbying scholarships for them to go back to school.
All right. Thank you. My colleagues would.
All right, Honorable. I would want to find out from you. Well, congratulations once again for making it to this stage. My first question for you is, the Ministry for Youth Development and Empowerment work with some agencies under them. Can you mention 3 of the agencies that work directly under the ministry?
We have the YEA, that's the Youth Empowerment Agency. We have the National Service Scheme. We have the National Apprenticeship. No, that is the project. Sorry, the other one is, it has escaped me. Sorry for that, but I can remember 2 for now.
Okay, that's fine. As a youth minister of YEC, I'm sure you have a fair knowledge of the challenges that confront the youth in this country. What do you think is the most pressing one, and how do you think leadership can mitigate those challenges or solve those problems?
Okay, so looking from within my community and beyond my community, one thing I can say we are facing with the youth is the hard drugs. That's red. Sorry to say. That's one thing the country is facing now, aside Galamsey. So when I'm able to get this ministerial position, I was planning to start an initiative that is stop hard drugs, but I'm still on the process of that. So when I'm able to get this ministerial position, I'll just try my possible best to be able to educate people on how hard drugs affect the youth and how it should be prevented by going to schools, mosques, churches, um, bases, such as groups, to educate them more on hard drugs so that it can reduce how they take it.
Are you done?
Yes, please.
Okay. A follow-up question to your earlier answer to His Excellency Raphael. You said that you are going to create the opportunity. You are going to the junior high schools, a BC tour, and then educate the students on how to pass and go to the university.
Hello.
If I heard you right, and then the kind of courses and program they should choose in the university. I want to know, how are you doing that?
No.
First and foremost, BC to university, maybe you got a bit confused there. Maybe you are saying BC to senior high school and that. But I want
Yeah,
to
I
know
said
your
senior high
strategy.
school.
I want to know your strategy. Who are you doing this yourself, or you are leveraging on the expertise and knowledge of others? How are you doing this?
Okay, I'm not doing it by myself. I have a group that they are going to help me with that project. I can't do it alone because it's not an easy task. It's about teaching students on courses to choose, how to go about it and stuff like so. I need a group of people to do that.
Okay. Right. That's all for me.
All right, thank you very much. And honorable good evening. Kismachu, good evening.
Evening, Honorable.
Yeah, I want to ask you, and I'll be um, limiting my question to social media. Over the months and weeks by, we've had a lot of, you know, people on the social media and are into all kinds of things. But I want to tailor what I'm coming to ask you to those who are into this medicine, that someone will just create a channel and be like, I am doing this medicine, mix this and this, and you get it right. As a minister of youth development and all that, suppose you are given the opportunity, how well will you think, with the help of social media, you can engage the other relevant stakeholders to make sure that a very concrete solution is passed to reach the citizens of the republic, so that this issue of misinformation that leads to abuse and other things can be mitigated? Thank you.
You're welcome. So honorable member, this is one question that mostly I hear people asking. So in my opinion, I I I I would engage with the minister of communications, so that there are some things that are not to be shown on the internet, because we have kids and we have young people who are growing up. So when they see things like this, they like to practice. So to me, if I was to be the minister of youth, I will engage with the minister of communication so that some things will be restricted from posting. When you post it and is against the rule, then it should be it should be bring down. You shouldn't post it on the internet.
Right, thank you very much. Honorable Chair, that will be all for now. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Francisca is still with us. So
Now, Francisca, please, do you have any question for the nominee?
Yes, I thought someone was moderating. That's why I've been quiet. But it looks like so. Good evening, honorable nominee.
Good evening.
So I'll be very quick with you. I had wanted to ask you about the current trend with regards to the youth, but then I realized you have a knowledge about it when you mentioned winning red. Yes. So I wasn't so much convinced with the answer you gave with regards to how you want to tackle that menace. So can you please come again? What is the initiative that you want to put in place to and tackle winning red, that is drug abuse, please?
Okay, so the community in which I am is more like a Muslim dominated area. So the youth in my area, for example, they take in hard drugs like this. So I wanted to I brought that initiative, but I needed some signatures from some stakeholders before I can start this initiative. So I would be going to they normally call it in Hausa basis, that's the group sitting. So it's more like my brothers and sisters sitting there, those involved in taking that hard drugs. We go there, talk to them, tell them the effects of hard drugs, tell them how to stop it because it is very harmful for the body. So we go there, educate them more about the hard drugs, and make sure if when we talk to you, engage you in a polite manner, and you don't respond to it, then we will now engage the police into it so that measures can be taken. Because as they are taking in the hard drugs, younger ones are also learning from them because they don't do it indoors. They bring it outside. You meet a small boy or a young boy sitting outside smoking, all in the name of I have my freedom. So when we come to you, talk to you, and you are still into it, we just engage the police into it so that measures can be taken.
Honorable Francisca, do you have any other
Okay,
question?
so if I fighting against youth beyond mere advocacy, are you that aware? And if yes, you are aware, we've done the advocacy, we've engaged with them. The new development is that the youth, what they want from us is what is dragging them into the drug abuse, and some has to do with employment, has to do with lack of attention and all of that. How do you want to, apart from advocacy, tackle youth involvement in drug abuse?
So when we go to the basis and we engage you, and you're able to tell us the reason why you are into it, and it is about unemployment. We have our MPs who are at the national level that we can engage with them, so that in case when they get this working slot, or some people want to learn this handiwork, and if you're interested in the handiwork and you don't have money, my community like this, my MP has opened a job center that is free. If you want to start something handy, I can take you, go and print out the forms, fill everything for you, then you start going to the job. But if you want an employment like this national security thing and you have your certificate, I can go to the MP, lobby for you, then you get your national security job.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I think I'll end here.
Okay. Honorable nominee, thank you for attending on today's committee. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You are discharged.
All right, so the next honorable nominee is being added. All right, Honorable Samuel Minta. Good evening and you are welcome. Kindly unmute your microphone and put on your video.
All right, Honorable, you are welcome.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Okay. His Excellency Kaiser will take over.
Hi, thank you. Honorable Samuel, I still can't see your face, even though you've turned your video on. I don't know
We
if
can
it's
see
just
his face from here.
okay. I can't, but
I
then
don't.
if it's on, no problem. No problem. Honorable, don't worry. I think it's from my end.
Oh, okay.
All right. Kindly tell us about yourself.
All right. Thank you very much. I am Samuel Frimpong Minta, and I come from the Eastern region, Akwetia to be precise. I have a Bachelor of Degree in Arts, Geography and Economics, and I believe in youth advocacy. I believe that the youth is the future, and through that, through the youth, I also believe in sports. I, I believe that sports is number one activity that will take a country to the world map.
All right. From your response, I assume you are vying for Ministry of Youth Development. Yeah, Honorable Samuel, what ministry are you vying for?
I'm vying for the Ministry of Youth, Youth Empowerment and Sports. I think with
Youth
you merge,
development,
Youth
empowerment,
Development.
and sports.
yes,
Okay.
youth development,
Sure.
empowerment and sports.
Empowerment and sports, yes. I think when I spoke earlier, you couldn't hear me. Anyways, can you tell us if you've led any youth development initiative and then whether or not it was successful? Can you run us through that?
Okay, actually, I wouldn't say it's an initiative I've taken, but the one thing I mostly do is that in my community, I can see a lot of talent, a lot of young talent, especially in football. So normally when they gather and they are playing this normal football on the pitch, I go there, I encourage them. um, um, I let them know that even though in Ghana we know it's not easy to get there, to even get this common Premier League to play, it's not easy. But I encourage them. Sometimes I even buy this water, yogurt, or something just to motivate them to do what they are doing. So I don't know if it's an initiative, but that is what I've been doing. Network. Hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. All
His
right.
Excellency Kaiser, I think he's answered the question.
Yes. All right, Honorable. I'm saying now I would like you to give us your vision ministry. What is your vision and how do you intend to achieve that?
Yeah, please. I didn't quite get that. I think the network was kind of. So if you can start the question.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I heard the latter part. So
Okay.
if you can start the question for me.
All right. I'm asking if you are given the nod to be the minister, what is your long-term vision for the ministry, and then what would be your strategies to attain that?
All right. Thank you very much. Um, I believe that parents have a part to play. The individual who is gifted with whichever sports activity also has a part to play, and the government. Now, most of the time, we see parents not really happy about their kids engaging themselves in sports activities. The parents we have here in Ghana, their attention on, or their focus is on go to school, go and learn, read, blah blah blah, pass exams, and then go to the university. They deter their kids, or they do not really support the idea of their kids or their wards engaging themselves in football. So I think there should be a national policy. Parents should be educated very well that look, these are talents and the talent should be protected. The talent should be motivated, it should be encouraged. So we should first of all hit parents with the education that their kids, some of their kids are talented, and those talents need to be protected and motivated. And then also the kids or the individual who is gifted with that talent should also be motivated in that sense. And also the nation, Ghana as a whole, you know, we are boosting, or we are a country that wants to play football, for example, and we don't even have a national football academy as a country, and we want to play football and win. So we should have a national something like a football academy in at least all the regions that will accommodate these talents and then help them to build.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, Honorable Minister, Honorable Nominee, sorry. I can see your focus is more on the sports aspect of the ministry. I would like to know, the ministry is Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. Youth Development, Empowerment, and Sports. I know through sports we can empower a lot of youth. But aside sports, what other thing do you think can be a platform or a leverage by which the youth of this country or the youth within your space can be empowered?
All right. The youth and sports ministry itself have been divided into two, with this current administration where we have the youth being a ministry on its own and the sport being a ministry on its own. But it looks like still YEC is holding on to the old one. I believe in hands-on activity. You know, our curriculum, the kind of curriculum we are practicing in this country is more of theory. You go to school, you read book, you write exams, and you pass. But we are neglecting the part that the child needs to develop a skill. So most of the time when I meet students, I don't only tell them to learn the book and go and write exams and pass, but they should develop a skill that somebody will need, a skill that you can sell. So I don't always blame the government on unemployment. I believe that the curriculum, yes, so yes, I can blame the government based on the curriculum they have given to the student to learn. So the curriculum should be more of hands-on, skill building, entrepreneurship, so that you don't need anybody to employ you. You finish school, you have your skills already that you can employ yourself and even employ others. So I believe in skills, building the skill, entrepreneurial skills of the youth, so that even if the government is not, and beside I'm not sure the government can employ all of us in the country. Some people will be employed, some people may not be employed. So, and you cannot sit down to just to you cannot stay aloof to wait for the government to employ you. So we need to build that skill so that we ourselves will employ ourselves and then we can employ others too.
Okay. All right. And my second question will be on the sports aspect, which seems to interest you more. I would like to know, currently, when you look at the local league in Ghana, what do you think is the biggest challenge, and how do you think leadership can solve or resolve those challenges?
Wow. The challenges with the local sports, it's it's plenty. I must say. Um, okay, first of all, looking at the stadiums or the stadia we are using to play our local leagues, it is nothing to write home about. They look very bad, and they doesn't speak well of us. So our stadiums are very bad. Ghana, the referees, and I think this is even something that we need to look at very well, because we go to African League or the African Cup of Nations, and then we don't have Ghanaian referees in there. And Ghanaian referees, sorry to say, are known for bribery and other stuffs. So one, we need to invest. We need to invest in our stadiums. We need to build proper stadiums that will be fit for sports activities, and then we need to also instill this discipline in the local referees. We need to instill them in them, and then we need to also, as a nation, I think the individual players should be given a certain amount of money that will encourage them to keep on playing. There should be this threshold that, look, players are paid this amount of money, the local players are paid this amount of money. That will encourage them, ginger them to play more. But we have a lot of local players that are drivers, that are this, they are doing other work. So how will they even concentrate on the football or the sports activity that they are doing? So they need to be encouraged very well.
All right, that will be all for me. Honorable Francisca, Honorable Don Tete. Okay, Honorable Francisca.
Okay. Honorable, good evening. Papa.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
Okay.
evening, madam.
So, yes, thank you very much. And then also, your ministry is Ministry of Sports and Recreation, right? Yes. So my
I don't. Okay.
come
Okay.
again.
It looks like YEC is still holding on to the previous
No,
one. I currently have
that's
divided.
why. No, that's why I intentionally also re-mentioned it.
Okay. All right.
The
That's
old
okay.
one was the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
All right.
Currently, we have Ministry of Sports and Recreation, and Honorable Kofi Adams is the minister.
Yes.
Are we good? Okay.
Yes, I'm good.
So, I want to know, there is a current trend that is affecting sporting activity globally. Are you aware of that trend? And can you share with the panel what that trend is and how you intend to manage that trend as a minister? Thank you.
You are saying there is a current trend that is affecting football globally.
Yes. Okay. Let
Well,
me be open. So the current trend that is affecting sporting activity, particularly football, is betting.
okay.
And when you go deeper into it, Ghana, with not being an exception, realize that the interest of scoring a goal has declined, but then the interest is that let's score and then win a bet. And I personally feel like it is also affecting interest in sport and even players' performance on the field. How do you intend to? Because on the other hand, this government promised sporting a betting activity and then the taxes on it. So on the other hand, people are gaining from it. On the other hand, too, it's affecting our games. How do you intend to manage the two without affecting any side as a minister?
But I didn't quite get that. I think I'm not getting the question clear. I don't know. I'm sorry if you can come again.
So my question is, betting activity is affecting our football globally, not Ghana alone. And so, as a sports minister, how do you?
Please, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this. You have made a point that betting activity is affecting football globally, and
Yeah.
I don't quite get that. I don't know how it is affecting football globally. I don't know if you can throw more light.
Honorable, let me help you here.
Okay.
Do you agree that betting is affecting football?
In what way, please, His Excellency? I don't get it. It's affecting football like it is making it bad, or it is making people not to watch.
What the honorable member wants to draw your attention to is, for her, she sees betting as a challenge to football. And since people are investing more in betting, it is also affecting performance on the pitch.
Okay.
In the sense that if a betting company, playing the devil's advocate, if a betting company is supporting a particular team, and then we know that particular team is playing against a less experienced side, ordinarily they should be winning probably by a higher margin. But because a lot of people, let's say, are betting in favor of that team, should they win, it means the betting companies has to pay more monies to the people who stake the bet. And so what she's driving at is there's a possibility that the betting company could connive with the team so as not to give those larger numbers who have stake bet in their favor the opportunity to win high volumes of cash, which will be a disadvantage to the betting company. I think that is, Honorable Francisca, did I explain it better?
Yes, Your Excellency. And then on the other hand, when you get to the Premier League, for instance, you know how football team management manage the players. And so all the players are also staking the bets. And then in a case whereby they stake against themselves or whatsoever, it also affects the performance. I have a personal experience with that, but then we are not there. So as a minister, you are Minister of Sports and Recreation. Let's just assume that the recreation part is where youth have also decided to be innovative in the sporting sector and then by staking bets to gain. So as a minister, you are supposed to work in the interest of the youth on the betting side and then also football fans and the players. How do you intend to manage the situation whereby people will bet, but then it's not going to affect performance?
Oh, okay. I think I will have a very related to say about this question, and I think there should be a strict policy on betting itself. The government should regulate it very well so that it wouldn't be like yes, as just you said, a player would stake against his team, and then the team will lose, and then he is gaining. So there should be some strict policies to the betting companies, and then punishment and other.
Please, is it only from my side that I can't hear him, or it's to everyone?
I think he's done answering the question, or he has a network challenge.
Okay, then I think I'll have to end it since it's out of it. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Samuel, are you there? All right, I think, Chief, do you have a question for him? It looks like his network is even not. Yeah, I think Honorable Samuel is back. Chief, do you have any question?
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Samuel, Your network is not stable. I think because of the network, I will pass. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Honorable Samuel, thank you for attending on to us. We wish you all the best. You are discharged. So, Chief, can we admit the next person?
Hey, vetting back on.
Oh, so the next nominee is joining.
So Honorable says you should go and then stake bet. If you don't want to stake the bet.
Come again.
I think our Honorable
right.
member is here, so let's proceed.
All right, Honorable Chair, you can proceed.
Honorable Christian Edem. Can you help us with the last name? Unmute yourself, please. Honorable, kindly unmute yourself. All right.
Hello, Honorables. Good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome. His Excellency Kaiser, kindly take over. His Excellency the Vice President, kindly take over. I'm sure he's having challenges with his network. And I'll kindly introduce yourself to us and tell us which ministry you're vying for and your vision for the ministry.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Christian Edem Kwechinya, MP for Ponkatamaso constituency, and then I'm vying for the Ministry of Youth and Development, Empowerment, and then Sports. So my vision for this ministry is to combine the youth, to empower them, and to also make sports very lively to them. So I want to tackle with sports first. Most of the youth right now love sports, but they lack the basic things. What are the basic things? The kits, which is the jerseys, the football, and then the cones to even train. Now, using this opportunity, I want to leverage on it and write to international organizations, local organizations that can assist us with most of these kits. So I used to do that in the past, but before they help you, they would like to verify the source and whether you are really going to give it to the appropriate people who need it. So me being a minister and then having the backing of YEC, I think this is a very great opportunity for me to leverage on it and then help the people in my constituency.
All right. Thank you very much for that response. You said that having YEC back you're going to leverage on that to help the young ones in your community when it comes to sports in the provision of sport kits like jerseys and boots. Sorry to disappoint you. YEC currently is not in the position to give you any financial commitment in pursuing any project. But being a youth parliamentarian or minister, we expect that you have the capacity to mobilize people and resources to achieve a particular goal or to prosecute a particular project. How do you intend to mobilize resources in this regard in the provision of sports kits for the younger ones who are unable to provide for themselves?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So I want to answer this question with a scenario. So for the past 5 years, I've been organizing a program known as the BEC Seminar. So the BEC Seminar basically targets the final year students of the JHS 3, where I write to examiners in WAEC to come down to talk to these students as to how to answer questions, how to avoid examination fright, how to behave well in the examination hall. This has been done across 25 schools. I've been able to gather over 1,000 students to come together to have this seminar. Now, we can't just invite the students over, have a 3-hour seminar, and then they just go back. I write to companies for sponsorship. So sometimes we do have some of the mineral waters available, the nodal companies, sometimes the insurance company on board. So when I say I have YEC as backing, some of these negotiations or some of these letters will go internationally. We would like to verify the source. At the end of the day, I'm using YEC's letterhead. I'm using YEC's property. So when I say I'm following on YEC, that means in case of verification, I know YEC is aware, because at the end of the day, my projects, my policies will be submitted to YEC, which will be in the known. So I wasn't saying that in regards to finances or yes. All I'm trying to say is that once I have the YEC, the backing of YEC, writing to this organization, seeking for sponsorship internationally and locally will be a very great impact to the people in my community. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think you've answered the question right. My second question to you would be on policy. Now, there is a policy introduced by the current government, Jumawura and the 1 million coders and others. How would you, as a youth minister in YEC, leverage on those existing policies to ensure that the youth that come across you get access to these policies, get access to these available opportunities? First and foremost, do you yourself, have you gotten the time to go through these policy documents and ascertain what it entails and how the government intends to implement them? And if you have, how do you think you could assist the youth that may come across you as a youth minister in taking advantage of these policies of the government? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Personally, I've gone through the document and I think it's a very laudable one. Reason being that the government is looking at training over 500,000 coders. Okay, during the period of training, me as a youth, I want to leverage on this and expand internship such that as they are going through the training, they need to practice whatever they are doing. So we'll liaise with companies, startups who also need normal websites, who need apps, who need basic graphic designs. So once they are going through this process, they're having internships at these various companies for them to, practice and then be perfect as to whatever they are doing. That is what I'm going to do as a youth minister. Thank you.
His Excellency Kaiser, do you have any questions?
Yes, he's answered some of my questions, but then I would like to only seek clarity. Honorable, you mentioned most of the projects that you've undertaken, but it looks to me like in answering them, you dwelt a lot on what you did in your community. And even with your vision for the ministry, you kept talking about what will be in your community and constituency. You will be minister for the YEC cabinet at the national level. So you'll be doing most of your things at the national level. How do you want to address that going forward? Then the second thing would also be the initiatives that you've initiated. You've told us about the successes you've chalked. Have you had any upsets? How did you handle it?
Thank you very much, Honorable. I didn't get your last question. You said, have I had any challenge? Did you say challenges?
Yes, challenges, setbacks on the project you've undertaken. I don't believe a project can be executed 100%. So have you had any setbacks? And if you did, how did you handle?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable. So with regards to my major program, which is the BC seminar, the setback had to do with transportation. Hello, Honorable members, please can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So my major challenge has to do with transportation. That's a typical example. So I sent out letters to over 30 schools, and then the venue didn't favor some of the schools because they were very far. And how I tackled these transportation issues was getting sponsors. So I did it such that surrounding schools, buses will be arranged for them to convey all students to their location. So my major issue was about transportation, which the sponsors were able to handle that for me, and that was tackled. Honorable, I didn't get your first question, please.
You did. You got my first question. You forgot it. Anyway, I'll repeat it for you. My first question was that you over relied on your community and your constituency. So how do you intend to carry this out at the national?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable. So just like I did for my community, I'll work with delegates at the various regions just to execute whatever plan I did in my community. So it's just about giving them the skeleton or the KPIs as to how I executed my program. Now, this will be done nationally because this will be done on the regional level nationally. That is sharing whatever ideas, sharing whatever plan, KPIs with them to be able to execute whatever I did on the community level. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Chief of Staff, any question?
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Nominee. I want to ask you this. You're vying for the office of the minister responsible for youth development, empowerment, and sports, right? Now, over the few weeks, there have been some issues, and I want to tailor my question to national service. Focusing on development, one of the reasons or purposes for national service is to some way, somehow build capacity for the graduates while serving the country. And I think about 3 weeks ago, the director for national service made some pronouncement of 2 months military training for the purposes of instilling discipline. Now, going back for about also a month and 2 weeks ago, we've had series of issues that has to do with clashes with the military, the police, a thing that has been recurrent over the years. And these were civilians that has no military training and were able to clash with the military, come out with all forms of assaults and all that. I want to ask you, as a minister that will be responsible for the development, empowerment of these people, these young people, What measures do you think we can put in place, especially with national service personnel, hoping and looking forward that after these 2 months military training, they will come up and we are not coming to have trained assassins, but we are coming to have people that will contribute what they've learned to national development. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief of Staff. So I believe this initiative is not just to train, like you rightly put, assassin. Or I believe it's to instill discipline in the youth. The youth these days, regardless of your talent, regardless of how good you are, how eloquent you are, I believe discipline comes first. Without discipline, you wouldn't go far. So this initiative is a very good one. And I believe they are not training the youth to go for war. It's just about instilling discipline. I believe this initiative way back was done with the police, where we had community police, we had traffic wardens, where national service were directing traffic for some period of time. Yes, I believe this initiative is a very good one. So as a youth minister, I think whatever program they are going through, at the end of the day, the good ones will still be picked to join the military. The rest of the youth will be left to go to their various companies to work, which whatever discipline they've learned from the military base, the military camp, will guide, shape, and mold them for a better future. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Honorable Chair, that will be all for now.
Thank you very much. Honorable Francisca.
Okay. Honorable nominee, good evening.
Good evening, Honorable, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I want to know how you intend to tackle the growing menace of sports betting and its effects on our sporting. And then also, how do you intend to bring love and life to Ghana Blasters support, Ghanaian supporting Ghana Blasters? Yes. Two questions. The betting and then the second one has to do with allow for a dear football team that has declined massively for a few years ago. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'll start answering with the second question. So with regards to the love of our football, I believe everything dwells down on advertisement. Yes. Why am I saying this? Most of the youth, like, let me say, everybody now is on social media. So we need to invest more in photography. We need to invest more in graphic designing. We need to invest more in documentary. That's how come the players are always in our face. We are going to love them more when we always see them on our feed. We always see them talking. We always see them training. When we invest in graphic designing, so take nice pictures of them, project them, that's how come we're going to still fall in love with them. But if it's going to be about just going to the stadium, watch their matches, we'll still not have love for them, because at the end of the day, we're going to the stadium, we are even scared of uncertainty, whether we have good policing, whether we are safe out there. Yes. So once we are able to get documentaries as to how safe we are anytime we go to stadium, it's going to bring back the love. As to sports betting, I want to tackle it this way. I believe way back in school, we all did probability. So if I'm rolling a die with a fellow, like my fellow colleague, and then he's aiming at 6, I'm aiming at 1, the probability of any of us getting the 6 and 1 is 50-50. Now, there's a third party who is saying, okay, party A, when you're able to roll die 6, I'm placing 1 cedi on it. If I win, if you're able to play die 6, I'm going to take that amount of money. I believe the sports betting is a game of probability. Personally, it's a global thing, and then it depends on the mindset of everyone. If Ghana and South Africa are playing football, and then party faithful are able to say South Africa is going to score Ghana. At the end of the day, I want to be behind South Africa and place a money on South Africa, such that when South Africa wins, I get this. I believe it's a game of chance. And then it also helps some people to love the game because they know at the end of the day, they predicted so well that their favorite won. That is my take on sports betting, as well as bringing back the love of the game. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable. Honorable, I'll end there.
Honorable, I have to make a follow-up on the national service thing. There are two follow-ups I want to make. Then I pray you'll be brief, very brief for me on your response. First, when you look at the act that establishes the national service, Act 426, and you look at the section 4, which talks about the duration of the national service. It says that the national service should be 2 years, which include a minimum of 6 months military training. So first and foremost, this isn't an initiative, but it is something in our laws for years, which has not been obligatory. And I believe you and myself, we've done our national service. So in practice, we did not follow through with the law, which is not our fault. That is one. And the chief was drawing our attention to the training, the military training, possibly degenerating into training more of our youth who will stand against our security personnel. Do you think, or do you suggest, as part of this military training, should the youth be trained on how to handle weapons, especially guns?
Your Excellency, no. I believe the military training is to instill discipline in them, how to be very active, proactive, do the right thing. Thank you, Mr. Excellency.
Okay. And then secondly, on the national service, when you look at the act says that same section 4, section 4.4, it says that where a person has successfully completed his national service and is later engaged in the public service, the period of his national service shall count towards any probationary period to be served by him. So if you're engaged after national service and you go into the public service, what this act says that if you have to be on probation for 3 years, if you go through the 2 years national service, the 2 years should be part of your probationary period. So you serve only 1 year. If your probation is even less than that, then that means you're not going to serve any probation at all. But when you look at our private sector, which employs a lot of the youth, after national service, people still go through probational period. Do you think that this part of the act be translated into the private sector as well, so that the youth who go through national service successfully are not made to go through probational period? That is one. And secondly, should the requirement for private organizations looking for experience of younger people be regulated so that people will not be asking for 5 years, 6 years experience from freshly graduated students whose experience may only be the national service experience? And so do you think that we should also regulate that and at least have a cap at 2 years, since the national service is supposed to be for 2 years?
Okay, thank you, Your Excellency. I believe with regards to the probation, it will still hold because most of us, where we did our national service, that is not where we are working right now. most of us transition into a different field altogether. And I believe every works have their code of ethics. Every work you have to learn on the job. So regardless, I believe that will still hold because they still need to know how you perform during their probation period. And your second question, whether the private sector should,
I mean, the second question is what you answered. Okay, the second question is what you answered, the probation. And my earlier question was on the what do you call it? The military training. So I think you've answered.
Yeah, I answered the military training, yes, where I said they are not going to be trained to use guns, but rather though it's still discipline in them.
And the second question was on the probational period, which I think you answered. But I was saying, do you think it should also, the other part of the question was, do you think it should be regulated so that if people are looking for experience, it should not be more than 2 years, it should be capped at 2 years, since the national service, which is supposed to give fresh graduates some experience at work, is 2 years?
I believe the regulation will be very difficult because right from level 100, most of our universities inculcating us to do internships. So this bit of internship can sum up to your CV as work experience.
Okay. I think that will be all for you, Honorable. Thank you very much for asking. All the best.
Thank you too, sir.
All right, so it's 9:45.
Chief, I think we can bring in the next person. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, why?
Honorable members. Your Excellency.
Honorable Francisca.
Yes, I need some clarity with regards to the ministry that we are there.
I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, so I'm a bit confused. We have Ministry of Empowerment and Youth Development, and then we have the Ministry of Youth and Recreation. So which ones are you? Because it looks like I'm confused with it.
Sorry,
I keep on hearing youth empowerment and then sports.
Yeah, we are not going by the ministries created by the national government. We created our own ministries. And so we've merged a lot of the ministries. We do not go by the 30 ministries because this year we want to cut the number because of how we want to operate as a cabinet this year. And so some of the ministries, for instance, the health, we have health, sanitation, and innovation.
Development and empowerment, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the youth is youth development.
Sports is under the youth development and sports.
Okay, I get it.
It is only those who had not read the guidelines for the vetting who are confusing it. Some of them are still casting their mind to the national one.
Exactly.
Yes, I was getting confused. Okay, then I'm good.
My problem is with the nominees who applied for the portfolio and still are confused because when they are applying, they saw the exact ministry stated there, but they come and it seems they don't even remember what ministry they applied for, or they want to create a certain ministry they think we are thinking towards and apply for. And that's my problem.
Truth of the matter is that I didn't know I was going to be part of the panel, so I just saw the link and then I joined. But
Oh, you've
it's a
done
bit
well.
funny.
Even the person that was initiated to be here, he came and he ran away. Thank you for being with us.
I think we can move on.
Honorable
All that
Chair,
we are saying
may
are
I?
still live, so we can move on and admit to the next
Yeah.
person.
Okay.
Sorry.
And Honorable Chair, I think we should also try to make use of the time because we are
Yeah.
keeping too long on a nominee.
Okay,
So
noted.
that
Chief of
we move
Staff.
on. Right. Thank you.
Right. Chief, let's have the next set.
I think we have about six nominees for today. Let's try and finish them.
Honorable entry, Kari.
Honorable Chief of Staff, is our next nominee ready?
Techno KJ5. Kindly introduce yourself, unmute your microphone, and show your video. Honorable Chair, may I crave your indulgence to address this before we move on? Honorable Techno KJ5, you were asked to join the live with your full name for identification. So kindly let us know who you are by name.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I really joined with my name, but it looks like the techno name rather is showing. But I am Godwin Francis Asari.
Right, that's fine.
Godwin Francis Asari. Okay. That means Emmanuel Jackpot couldn't join.
Yes, at the time they were supposed to join, they weren't available at the time.
No, I think after Christian, the next person to join is Emmanuel Jackpot. After him is Godwin Francis Asari. So maybe we can, after we are done with Honorable Godwin, we can still give Honorable Emmanuel Jackpot chance if he is still available.
Yeah, our nominee is already here, so I think this one.
So Vice, you can take over now.
All right, Honorable, welcome. Thank you for staying up with us to actually execute this. Kindly tell us about yourself.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I am in a person of Godwin Francis Asari. I got a chance to have my basic education in Hohoi, and then my senior high school education in Bishop Heman College, that is Pando. I also got a chance to enter into the College of Education, that is Jessica College of Education, and I'm currently a professional teacher on study leave in the University of Education, Winneba. And by honor, I am the current SRC president for the University of Education, Winneba. And I love to be part of youth activities, right from the senior high school level when I identified myself in that space. I've always been part of youthful activities. There's something short that I want to speak about myself. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. My first question for you would be, have you how did it go? If it succeeded, how did it succeed?
Please, the line got broken, so I couldn't get a connection.
Fell short.
Either you went off, so we couldn't hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Is it clear now? Is it better?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right. Okay. I was asking about if you've led any youth-led initiatives, and then what was the outcome of it? If you could share that with.
All right. Thank you very much, the chair. Yes, I've gotten the chance to lead some youth initiatives. Personally, I'm a professional teacher, and then I teach at a junior high school level. And so when I got into the school, I created the I Care Foundation. And what we do within the I Care Foundation is to actually assist senior high school students and then the basic school students in motivational speeches. And also we do some personal NGO activities. So we actually embark on educating the youth on self-actualization issues and also career. Thank you very much, the chair.
All right. In carrying out that initiative, what challenges did you face and how did you overcome it?
All right. Thank you very much. Of course, once it has to do with humans, there were a few challenges. And then the first one would have to do with the ideologies of the people within the community where the initiative was actually taking place. Where I was actually teaching was quite a remote area. And so they were not exposed to, a lot of things. And so trying to bring that new model into the community, there were a lot of eyebrows. There have been cases where teachers have used some of those personal initiatives to assist. So I actually had a chance to have personal relationship with students, which resulted in teenage pregnancies and stuff like that. So opening the initiative up to the community was quite difficult, and then there was some sort of restrictions. But then after speaking to the chief, my headmaster, and even my CS, they were able to give me the chance. So the first of all was the ideology, how the people actually saw the whole thing. And then also mobilizing the funds to actually purchase the items to gift out to students. Along the line, I was actually giving textbooks, I was giving clothes, I was giving desk. Some of them were not having desk. And so those who are able to perform very well, I did it on level basis. So Form 1, the best student in Form 1 will get, a textbook, then Form 2, then Form 3. And so these were some of the challenges that we face. So financial and also the ideologies of the people within the community.
All right, very well. My last one for you would be on if you get the nod to lead the ministry, what is your vision for the ministry, and then what strategy would you use to act?
All right, so sorry, the vision. This is a ministry that has to do with youth development, a ministry that have to do with youth empowerment, a ministry that will have to do with sports. So the vision is to let the youth know what opportunities are available. Let the youth also be motivated. Let the youth also feel involved. So we need to get a message across all platforms to make the youth feel they are also involved in every single activity. How do I want to execute this? By virtue of the fact that we are in the 21st century, we have a lot of social media platforms that a lot of youths are on. and actively involved. We can talk about TikTok, we can talk about Facebook, we can talk about the Snap and all that. So using all these platforms, in addition to a face-to-face effect, we can put ourselves together and go out there on voluntary basis to give information in this area to the youth. Thank you very much.
Hello, Vice. Are you done? Okay, Honorable. I would want to take you a bit on the. I want to take your brain a bit on the National Service Scheme. When you read the National Service Scheme Act 426, Section 2, it talks about, no, Section 3, it talks about persons to be directed to render service in certain fields. That is fields under which people could be engaged in national services: agriculture, cooperative, education, health, local government, military, rural development, including surveying, physical planning, civil engineering, and rural industries. And what is my interest is youth programs. So by the law, YEC as an institution could apply to the National Service Board to be granted the authority, to be given authorization to admit fresh graduates to do their services in YEC. As a Minister for Youth, Development, Empowerment, and Sport, National Service Secretariat will be one of the agencies your ministry is going to engage if we need to engage any government agencies. One of the agencies will be National Service Authority. Would you admonish leadership of YEC to apply for this authorization? And if you would, what would be the nature of work for anybody who is admitted into this program as part of his or her mandatory national service?
All right. Thank you very much, the chair. So I think there is a structure within YEC. Yes, I know we have the general secretary, and then I also know we have the president. And so who will I fall on? It's quite technical, but I think once there is a youth model, and looking at what we are practicing, we are having various constituency representatives, we are having ministerial representatives. And so in that order, then I think I would have to fall on the president to help in this area. Then as in what work, of course, where YEC has actually got into, you realize that YEC is beginning to grow wings, actually, that is being watched or that is being seen across the continent. And it is currently one of the most active youth platforms for empowerment and development. And so having national service personnel on board and what kind of work they are going to do, well, technically, I may not have the exact policies and then the goal-driven points to give, maybe as to what the president of YEC has actually written down. But in my own perspective, I think that YEC being a youth model something will of course get opportunity to have access to a lot of the areas that were mentioned earlier by you, Honorable Member, that is agri, education, surveying, engineering, and other places. And so YEC, by the fact that it is a youth model, can have access to all these platforms, and anybody that is being taken onto the YEC platform can be given these same areas as well, but YEC being used as a yardstick or a stepping stone to have access to these things. My candid opinion.
All right, thank you very much for that response. But what I wanted to solicit from you is, you see, as the youth minister, you are engaging the National Service board on behalf of YEC, and you are
okay.
making a case. You are making a case for YEC that per the act, youth programs could also admit national services, but we need to go through the process and register. And so I'm looking at maybe when we are able to get that authorization, graduates who are admitted as national service personnel could probably be seconded to places like national civic national help me with the name again, civic these agencies that are supposed to shape the thinking of the ordinary Ghanaian. Civic education. Thank you.
The Commission for Civic Education. Is it
correct?
NCCA?
Commission for Civic, yes. NCC, National Commission for Civic Education. That's what I wanted. So we could second people there where they go to do these advocacies that as a youth development and empowerment platform we are doing. So as the minister, if you're engaging the National Service Board, I mean, you should be able to sell YEC in that regard that when personnel are employed or when personnel are admitted into the program, these are the areas we can deploy them to work to furtherance the cause of government. So these and others were what I was looking at to see if, and especially when it comes to the governance system, we could also push some of these personnel to some ministries where we interact with on daily basis to be assistant in their daily work. Well, my final question to you will still be on the national service, because national service has become one of the most ventures of interest currently in our state conversation because of the activation of the clause in the law that every personnel should do and go through at least a 6-month military training. So I would also want to ask you, when you look at the law, it says we should do 2 years. Now the government is activating that part of the law that says we should do 2 years, including minimum of 6 months military training. But it looks like the government is activating the 6 months military training, but we've not heard much on the 2 years. Would you suggest that should a proper interpretation of this law and a proper activation of this law be done, everyone who has done 1 year be allowed to go back and complete their last year, the additional 1 year, including the 6 months military training? Or would you suggest that we should just allow that to go and ensure that subsequent graduates go through the strict 2 years with a minimum of 6 months military training?
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Actually, let me be honest that if not within this few period, I actually didn't know that it was actually a mandatory something for us to go through some military training for national service or disciplinary purposes, you know. So we are a people led by rules, you know, and then I think it is the ignorance of it, if not the ignorance, then a blind, practice of it that has actually made it this way. But I got a chance to actually attend the College of Education, and we don't actually do, or we didn't do national service. We only do attachment or an out program. And so the out program was just 1 year. After that, we were posted, So as in how it should go, I think the best thing to do is to look at the 2 years. Before you even go for national service, we go for internship. The internship is 1 year. And then after the internship, then the national service. And so I think it should be a combination of the internship and then the 1 year national service, making it the 2 years time period.
Then I guess you advocate that the law should be amended to include internship, because currently the law says national service, it doesn't include the internship.
Yes, Honorable Chair, humbly, I think the law is made for human, and then a human is not actually made for
Yeah,
law.
exactly. So I'm just repeating what you said, that from what you are saying, we should go for an amendment to include internship.
Yes, Honorable Chair, once we are not doing the 2 years and then it is looking at a waste, or we are not abiding by what is written, we should amend it and then look at how best it can serve us.
All right, sure. Chief of Staff. Hello, Chief of Staff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, do you have any question for the nominee?
No, I'm okay.
All right, Honorable Francisca. Honorable Francisca. Is Honorable Francisca still with us?
Yes, please, I'm here. I think we should proceed. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Honorable nominee, thank you for attending onto the committee. Congratulations once again. We wish you all the best, and you hear from us.
All right,
you are
thank you very much.
discharged.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Chief of Staff, kindly let's admit the next nominee.
All right, so here we are is Honorable Fatawu Haruna. Honorable, you're welcome, and kindly unmute your microphone and put on your video. Thank you. Honorable Fatawu Haruna, kindly unmute your microphone and put on your video.
Honorable Fatawu Haruna, are you with us? I'm not sure the Honorable is still on the call. Kindly let's take the last person for the day.
All right, so they are yet to join. I think those who joined went off, and that is it for.
So those who were earlier supposed to join, who couldn't because of network, if any of them is still available, we can take them. But if not, let's take the last person on the list for today, and then bring today's on to a close. Then we can meet in conclave and take decision on at least 2 ministries. I know that there is one addition with the finance ministry. There's one additional person who is scheduled for tomorrow, so we can't take a decision on the finance ministry until we are done with that additional person. But for the first 2 ministries, the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment and Sports, the Ministry of Health, Sanitation and Innovation, for them, I'm sure we can take a decision on them. So if there's none available,
I think one is
Haruna is
available.
back. Okay.
Ministry of
Honorable
Health.
Fatai Haruna, kindly unmute yourself and switch on your camera. I can see 2 nominees in the room. Okay. Honorable Fatai. Chief, I don't think Honorable Fatai is ready.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Honorable Fatai.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
You are
Sorry
welcome.
for the
you owe us some pizza for keeping us waiting for this long. Honorable, your network
Hello?
seems to be very bad. Honorable, can you hear us?
Hello?
Honorable, we can hear you. Your network was so bad. Welcome back once again.
For that.
Honorable Fatai,
Honorable Chair.
kindly introduce yourself and tell us the portfolio you are vying for and share with us your vision for that portfolio.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity, Honorable Chairperson. I am honored to appear before you as a finance nominee in the Youth Model Cabinet. My name is Haruna Fatai, a recent graduate in accounting from the University of Professional Studies. Over the few years, I've had the opportunity in my institutions and community, contributing my quota to the development of my organizations and community, which is Bimbila. In 2020, I had
Honorable Chair, I want to suggest that we schedule the finance ministry for tomorrow so that probably we can begin early and handle those who are part of it for tomorrow.
Agree. Guys, do you agree? Do you second?
Yeah,
Okay,
Honorable
so
Francisca has
then
also
Chief, if you can take us off the live, let's bring the live to a close so that we can have our meeting and then make a decision on
Hello?
the 2 ministries we've earlier discussed. Honorable Fatai, sorry.
Hello?
Honorable Fatai, can you hear me? Honorable Fatai, because of your network, we want to schedule you for tomorrow and the time. So kindly make yourself available tomorrow. Chief of Staff will communicate the time. So make yourself available tomorrow and try to get a stable network so that we can have a very seamless and fruitful vetting. So Honorable, if you could hear me, because of the network challenge, we want to schedule it for tomorrow. The Chief of Staff is going to communicate the time with you, the time to you. So try as much as possible to get a favorable internet connection tomorrow so we can have a seamless vetting process and a very smooth one as well. Honorable Fatai, if you could hear me, kindly pardon us for the inconvenience this evening. It looks like your network is a big challenge for us, and we are struggling to have a seamless conversation.
My network is back now. Can we continue with that?
Come again?
My network is back. Can we continue with that? I really apologize. We are having a unstable network here, but I think it's back now.
Yeah, we understand. It's not only you. There are others also having same challenge, especially those of you coming from the Ministry of Finance. So we want to push all of you to tomorrow, much earlier than the time we started today, maybe around 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. But we will confer, and then the Chief of Staff will communicate the time to you. Sorry for keeping you waiting for this while, but the network is really messing up with us here, and we are struggling to have a seamless conversation. We want it to be very seamless so that we can have the best of you and you can also have the best of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your understanding. See you again tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Hello, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Do you have control over the YouTube? If you can take us off the YouTube so we could have our internal conversation. If we could go into conclave and take decisions on the first two ministries.
I am not sure.
We could end it and then we'll carry on from our
then
room.
what we'll do is we'll end the vetting here. Then we'll go back to our platform and use our usual Google Meets for our discussion. And then I wish by tomorrow, okay, let's go into our meeting room and have that discussion.